start getting people in here. Dun, 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 dun. Quit eating your paws. Yeah. Oh, here we go. There we go. I was like, it acts like it's adding you. So now we're just waiting on the guys to get here. How are you tonight?
I'm not doing too bad. How about you?
Not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Just got done with dinner and all that. So,
Got you, got you.
hey, Christina. Christina, are you? Where's the next? Where's the next show you're going to try to get some more points for Romeo? Because right now I think he's third ABKC.
Is he?
I think so. I think Romeo is third, and upcoming. I mean, he's not going to stay third for long. That boy's in
Had
motion.
they updated it since
I think.
the last time they posted it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I feel like that's like maybe weeks old. Maybe I'm not quite sure.
I
Christina would
don't
know
even
better.
know what to go
She
check.
looked it up recently.
Got you.
All right. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get the guys on here. Let me go.
Who's in front of him right now?
Hey,
Uh,
what's that?
I think I was asking Christina who's in front of him right now.
I think it's still Hangman and then Spartan Zeus.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
But yeah, so I think that's. I mean, but granted, I mean it's still July, So road to nationals, baby, woo! What
Right.
um what are you doing for nationals? Are you bringing anybody?
I
Can't bring anybody?
I don't know yet, honestly. I'm not even decided. If I do go, it'll be Post Malone, of course. But I also hope to attend a couple shows before then and get that grand champion title knocked out. Because we didn't only been to two shows and competed in the champion class.
Nice. And Mary and I, uh, we're weird. Like we literally like we already got our booth, we already got our Airbnb. Totally not
Right.
excited about it at all. Obviously. It was too funny. Too funny. Oh, Christina says Zeus is not the second. It is a dog from South America. Okay.
Oh, I need to know where to look at. I'm on the website right now, but I don't know
Oh,
where to look.
I'm trying to. Yeah. Where would we find that? Top 10 as of April 2024? They've really not updated since April.
I give up. Yeah, I don't know where to look.
I'm trying to. Nope, those are the shows.
So,
Yeah, I got nothing for you. I don't know.
you couldn't find it either?
I couldn't find it either. Caleb. No. We'll see how, I can't remember if he said he was gonna, his new internet was gonna be installed at the house already. Normally he has to go to work because his internet's better there.
Oh, okay.
We was kind of razz him a little bit about that. Let's see here. Caleb. And we're waiting for our co-host Michael as well. I'm so sorry about that. Normally we've.
Oh, you gotta apologize to me for nothing. I'm here. I'm chilling.
Well, I know, but your time's valuable, you know? But let's see here. So, are you in Central Time Zone?
Yes, Mississippi.
You're where?
Mississippi.
It's like I knew you were in the South. I just couldn't remember which state. But
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, so you're like next door. Nice.
Yeah, I was in Florida, but I got back to Mississippi in October.
Is that sort of? Do you prefer it better, or did you like Florida?
You lagging a little bit. What you say?
I was just trying to see if you did you prefer Florida, or are you glad to be back in Mississippi?
I like Mississippi prices, but I like Florida's
Lifestyle.
yeah, lifestyle overall. I don't like the Florida traffic. I like the traffic here better.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
lack thereof.
Oh, yeah.
What's good? What's good?
What's going on, man?
Man, not a whole bunch.
We were just talking about Florida prices versus Mississippi living. He's currently living in Mississippi, and he'd lived in Florida for a bit, so we were discussing the differences.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
You said what part of Mississippi? I'm in northern Mississippi in the Delta.
nice.
Hey, Michael joining us?
He knew about it. Let me.
Hey, can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah, you good?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right.
Did my lag go away?
It hadn't lagged in a second, so I'm guessing you good.
We're trying out the new Wi-Fi tonight. Trying out the new Wi-Fi.
Uh-oh.
Hey, man, hey, QK, we live in the country, a small town, man. So there's like no internet providers around here. Like we live outside city limits of the small town.
Really?
So it's like via set and like one other one that we can get, and it's just like very, very slow, especially to do something like this. So
you over there working on fucking dial-up, ain't you?
Man, exactly. Yeah, get off
We
the
all
home phone.
remember that sound.
Yes. But finally, Starlink came to our area. We've been on a waiting list for like a year and a half. So finally, we've got it. So tonight's the first night that I'm actually able to do it from home, man.
I know. I'm really liking the backdrop.
Yeah. I know.
I was thinking, huh?
That's going to be the backdrop from going forward, but tonight.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Today's been crazy.
Yeah, that's the backdrop. Tell them what that is.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, QK. Yeah, man. Anytime. Is that what you like to be called, QK, or do you
Quantet?
go by something else?
Everybody knows me as QK, yeah.
QK. Okay. All right. So, man, we started a wall. Man, it's pretty cool. We actually had this up. You know, it was like a picture backdrop, things like that. This is on our whelping room.
Oh, he cut out for a
Yeah.
second.
Hey, can
We
you hear me?
lost your
Yeah,
sound
you
for a
good.
sec. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So this wall right here, it started about a year and a half ago. Antonio McClinney actually came. He was actually the first one to sign it. Oh, well, Nakaya's granny was the first one, but when Antonio came down, we had him sign it. And we started a wall. It's just kind of a wall that we've done business with, like look back upon, you know, years later, where like all the signatures and things like that. And,
Yeah.
man, we've had some. Man, every single person on here is unique in their own way, but man, I love it. Like just the dog talk that's taking place, the transactions. Just the knowledge, just the, you know, people that are going to shows. It's kind of became a like attraction for them to come over here and talk
dope.
dog, and man, it's cool. So our doors are open to you, my friend.
Hey, I'll take that offer sooner or later for sure. I most definitely will be one of the people that'll sign it.
Absolutely. Heck yeah, I look forward to it, man.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
Amanda hasn't yet.
Huh? Oh yeah. I've managed not to make my way down there, unfortunately, to sign his wall. I need to make it a point. I apologize accordingly. Okay. Well, so I haven't heard back from Michael just yet. He must be trying to get to a place where he has signal as well. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get this started. So how we usually like to get everybody introduced to you is, you know, you can say who you are, and, you know, if you have a business name, your kennel name, and then what got you into bullies in the first place. Take it away.
Okay, so I am QK Watkins. Most people know me as QK. My real name's Quintez. Everybody that knows me from Facebook for the most part, or from seeing me at shows, handling dogs, or selling stack boxes. Stack boxes is the thing that most people gravitated towards me from. I've been dealing with the American Bully since I want to say 2010. I got my first bully. I didn't know what the fuck a bully was. Like the lady that gave me the dog, it's like she looked like legit. She brought me the dog. She said, because I was like, we had a pit, and once he died, she brought me a dog. She was like, hey, yeah, she's fully grown. It was a pocket female, beautiful fucking dog. Like she was beautiful. Her name was Sassy, because well, I named her Sassy because the lady that brought me the dog, she had another pit, a black and white pit, and she had a Rottweiler and a male pit. The female, for some reason, did not like people. Like she was friendly towards she was friendly towards the other dogs. She was friendly with other people, but that female did not like me for some reason. So I was supposed to be feeding them while she was in town.
Yeah.
I went to go feed them, and she came out of nowhere, lunged at me. Boom! I had Sassy walking around with me. Like I hadn't even named her yet. Sassy was walking around with me. As soon as that dog lunged at me, Sassy jumped in front of me and handled business. I was like, all right, that name fits. Let's go with it. So I've been dealing with bullies since then. Sassy was my first bully. She was just a pet. And from there, I ended up getting another female. No, I ended up with two other bullies that were also just pets. And then I ended up in Indiana, and I started seeing more of the dog community for some reason. I don't like it just so happened to pop up on my Facebook one day. I just started seeing more and more bullies. And then I started seeing people post shows and stuff. I was like, I think I can do that. I want to get in that shit.
Yeah.
So from there I ended up with a classic female. That classic female got me into, like, she was my introduction into showing. Like I learned how to stack and everything with her. I started seeing people like once I got into learning how to stack with her, I started looking into ways to see if there was an easier way to stack, and I started seeing stack boxes. I was like, and I didn't like. I'm one of those people. I don't if I get something, I don't want the most basic version.
Right.
So
You want it
I didn't
all out.
want. Yeah, I didn't want just like a palette that was broken up to
Yeah.
work good enough, you know. So I was like, you know what? I'll use these ideas I see and build something from there. And that's when my stack boxes started. Because I was into car audio and car audio fabrication at that point. I was doing car audio competition. So I had a friend that does CNC work, and me and him got together. We came up with a design, and he since that day, he's been the person that cuts all my stack boxes. He does all the cut, like the woodwork,
Yeah.
and ships them to me. And that started in, ooh, I want to say that started in like 2018. I want to say that started in 2017, 2018.
Wow.
Nicely
And
done.
from there, it's just been a constant roll. And then I ended up from Indiana to Florida. Once I got to Florida, I actually started showing, and it's just been nonstop since then.
Yeah.
Good Lord, sounds like, my goodness. So so you said you also did, well, and I know this because, I've been to shows where you're at. You also sell wickets.
I do. I do
And
sell wickets.
do you, like, so I've actually watched you while you're describing like, first of all, what they are. I've actually watched you at a show somebody how to use one.
Thank you.
I do that. I do the same thing with stack boxes too. If anybody buys any of my products, they'll tell you. If you ever need any help, have any questions, hit me up. I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. If I don't know the answer, I shouldn't be selling it. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find out the information or recommend you to somebody that does.
That's
Um, Yeah, when it comes down to the wickets and mainly the wickets, that's something that I'm big on because there's too many people lying about their dog's height in this community. So
awesome.
that's the biggest reason I started selling wickets and bringing them to shows, selling them at shows, and showing people how to use them. And even if you don't buy one from me and you come up to me, hey, I want to know how tall my dog is, let's go. Like 9 times out of 10, I'll be able to look at your dog and gauge it unless it's an XL because I haven't dabbled enough in the XLs to just be able to say,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, that's a 24-inch dog.
Yeah.
Nah. But most of the time, if it's a pocket or standard, I can look at the dog and say, hey, your dog range is. I'll normally be within a quarter inch of the dog's actual height.
Yeah.
You've done it
QK.
enough
So
that, yeah, I'd be shocked if you couldn't kind of like just eyeball it, at
Yeah,
first.
right. What you say,
yeah, so
Caleb?
you said that if anyone comes up to you and says, "Hey, can you show me how to use this wicket?" You'll say, "Yes."
Yeah, let's go.
Well,
I'll
hey,
pull one out right there.
during this live, I would like, if you have a dog available, just to show the actual use of the wicket, if you don't mind, because I think that's something that a lot of people really need to understand where that height is, because you're right. A lot of people don't really understand where to put it.
Yeah, when we get to that point, before I do it, I gotta go set up a spot because I ain't got a whole lot of space to do it. So I had to set up a spot to make sure I can show you properly and actually get them stacked up. I'll pull a Post Malone out there and get them stacked up for you.
All right, even if a video or anything like that, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I just think that's so educational, and we're talking about
Oh,
that.
I ain't got no problem doing that at all.
Yes, it's
We don't
perfect.
hide no
Yeah,
heights
so
over
Well,
here.
and my apologies out the window.
I'll take that right back. Yeah, and it's just one of those things where, just like you said, there are just so many folks that they don't really, I don't have a wicket at my house. I need to get one
Right.
from you, but like it's just, especially when you're planning on, showing them, you absolutely need to know the accurate height of your dog so that
Most
way,
definitely.
you
Most
don't
definitely.
walk in there like, oh, I don't know which class I'm signing up for.
Hey, and I've watched a few people go to like one year in the one time they had a show in Miami is I was showing Gambit, and there was the one guy walking around like being that Gambit. Most people knew Gambit because Gambit is the dog that he was the face of my product
Yeah,
and my kennel.
Yeah,
So most people knew Gambit. If they saw Gambit, they knew me. If they saw me, they knew I had Gambit close by. And with Gambit being Louis V blood, I was always posting him in the Louis V group, so somebody recognized Gambit. And it was a guy walking around hey, I got this Louis V blood dog that he's pocket, he's 14 inches, da da da. I was like, okay, cool, that's what's up. Bring him by.
Yeah.
Gam is a 15.5 inch dog. I know Gam is height. Gam is a 15.5 inch dog. He brought that dog by, and he was like 1.5 inches taller than Gambit before I even pulled a wicket out. I was like,
How about that?
yeah, you might not be 14 inches, buddy. He was like, no, I know my dog's 14 inches. Blah 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 blah. I was like, dude, I'll pull Gambit out for you right now and put him beside Gambit. I won't even tell you Gambit's height before I do this. Put the dog beside Gambit, towers over Gambit. Hey, Gambit's 15.5 inches. He was like, no, that dog 12 inches. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you. I mean, we can always wicket, and
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that's going to be a little painfully true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's such a common thing, though. XLs. We can speak on that more specifically. I've seen so many XLs that they go in the first show. Well, all classes. We can speak on all classes, of course, but they go into a show and they're being, wicketed by the judge. They're being told to go to the opposite or another class, because of height, whether it's higher or lower.
Exactly.
But then the next judge is saying something different. So it really needs to be universal on, of course, where the wicket is, which it is. It's very specific, but we need to make sure. I wish that during the shows, like the first judge would wicket, and that's where it would stay. Or
See,
judge or something like that.
My bad I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh,
One idea that I had, like I don't even know if I ever spoke on it, but I think I mentioned it once before. They need to have the show reps that are doing all the paperwork. Like I know those reps have a shit ton of work to do every day, every show. So they need to have somebody that's not as busy sitting at the table. Hey, especially if it's somebody that's bringing a new dog, that person can be the person designated to measure that dog and classify that dog before they even finish filling out the registration.
Right.
Yeah.
And that way, that removes the confusion. And there's one or two people that are measuring every single dog, and it's all consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, while I've seen judges, purposefully wicket a dog, I know anytime I've ever needed either of my boys wicketed, I've either gone to Rolando or I've gone to Errol. So
those are the people I like to hand my wicket. Like if they don't have a wicket at the show that's readily available, I like to hand my wicket to those people and say, hey, you can have that judge measure your dog.
Yeah, by the way,
Yeah.
I'd really like to. Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I think we need to. Let's see. I'm trying to get
find this picture. So I had a picture where I drew out exactly where people need to measure. I'm trying to see if I still got it in this phone, and I can send it to both y'all and try to show it on the screen. And hold on, might have a wicket over here, right quick. Oh.
Hey.
This is my personal wicket. Boom. There you go.
Boom. There it is. All right.
And it has a level on it, so once you can't get beside the dog and get to doing this and just try to make him through the height. Yeah, I've been seeing people do. I just scrolled past the picture where somebody did that shit.
It's like. Oh yeah. Oh for sure. I've definitely seen that, and again, just like Caleb had said, we see it predominantly with XLs.
Yep.
And sometimes they'll sit there and like really press down to try and get them underneath a certain mark because you forget the cat.
Yep. Hold on. I'll see if I can get this to show.
Okay. What?
Yeah, this is one where the guy, I don't know if you can tell from the way I'm holding it, but he had the wicket leaning to try to make it look like it was shorter than what he actually was.
Yeah, and the level doesn't lie.
But he tried to make his dog saying 14 inches. I think once I told him to measure it right, and he realized I wasn't trying to put his information out. I told him how to measure right, and I had him do it. I had him call me, and the dog ended up measuring it like 16 and a half from 14 inches.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, the wicket's so important to know how to use it. In ABKC, to really understand what takes place there, too, from what I understand, the senior judge is the judge of Judge 1, just to clarify, so we're not, saying anything. Senior judge, Judge 1, and then that kind of dictates to make sure that dog classifies for the next show and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have seen it where other judges have wicketed, and that's just why we're showing the importance, of the wicket. I love what ABKC does with that. I just want to clarify, because they do put something in place to make sure the dog's in the right class. But the wicket has been brought out after that.
Right.
I agree. I've seen it as well. There we go. I got the picture.
Mike, what's going on, man?
Technical difficulties, man. It wouldn't let her at me till just now.
Yeah, I had to go all the way back to when he initially tried to jump, or initially just started watching in the first place. I had to scroll all the way back to that, and it finally let me add you. So sorry about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. How is everybody?
Not too bad.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this picture that you just sent me, and I'm going to post it on the Tuesday Night Bully Talk. So that way, everybody that, if anybody who's not, who isn't aware, we do have a Tuesday Night Bully Talk page. It's a page dedicated just to the show itself. So sometimes if any kind of media or products were described during any of our lives, we will put that also on the Tuesday Night Bully Talk Facebook page, so that way you guys can go back and look at it without having to, hop back into the live after you've already seen it, and that won't let me add pictures. So
that's convenient.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, so I did get that picture. So I'm going to put that in there on the Facebook page, and then also on mine, so that you guys can share it if you haven't already sent a friend request to the Facebook page for the show. So
Got you.
But so other than like pit bulls and bullies and everything like that, we know that I've actually watched you handle. Obviously, I've seen you, with Post Malone, but have you done other breeds?
No, I'm not. I ain't gonna lie to you. The only other breed that I would attempt to do any work with would have been a Frenchie, but at the same time, Frenchies are they're so nitpicky, and 9 times out of 10, they're more likely to be attached to their original handler or their owner. So I don't want to be the one to get in there and mess that up for that dog, as far as being the person presenting that dog and making it look bad. I don't want to put myself in that position, so I haven't tried Frenchies.
I respect that.
Yeah. And now, being that I'm in Mississippi, I don't have anybody close by that I could just say, "Hey, let me practice handling your Frenchie." So I just gave up on that thought,
So
I still haven't been able to talk myself into taking anybody else's dog in the ring. I think there was one. I think there was at one point, I can't remember who it was, but they had. I think I've taken Ragnar. I think I've taken Ragnar Ruff in the ring before. Now that I think about it. They had another dog that they were in the process of showing, and they had nobody to take him in the ring. So it's like, crap. So I did it. He did all right for me, but it was you're right. It's such a foreign thing. And I was sitting there thinking, like, I am so worried about presenting this dog wrong, because he's not shaped like mine are. Like,
right.
It's so it's an entirely different ball game. So I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh. And he doesn't
When
like,
it come down to when it come down to handling, you got to figure out the dog at the other end of your
yeah,
lead and the best way to present them to the judge in front of you because as we all know, certain judges look at certain things. So yeah, you got to figure out like sometimes most of the time it's on the fly. Um, but at the same time, I've had the opportunity to actually train some of the dogs that I've handled. But when it's on the fly, you just really gotta try to hurry up and figure out what it is that dog likes, what it is you need to move a certain way to make sure it looks the best for the judge. It's not easy at all.
Yeah.
yeah, I especially like for me, my Excel doesn't require any baiting. I don't have to bait him for anything. He'll do what I want him to do when I want him to do it. I don't have to bribe him. I don't have to bait him. If I want him to lean forward, he'll do it.
You're lucky.
I don't know how that
Yeah.
You're
happened. I am
you're bragging,
really
but
blessed,
okay.
but
I know.
he's not food motivated. That's the thing. He's not food motivated. He's never been food motivated. I've never had to
Yeah.
bribe him with treats to do anything. So I looked out there. Now my pocket is a freaking gremlin, and like, man, he is so food motivated. He like I've had to reconcile myself with how much bribery I perform.
Yeah, that's how
I ain't
pressure is with me too. He'll do anything for a treat, but without it, he's like, bro, are you serious?
Yeah.
I I
There's
ain't
nothing
been
in
lucky
this one.
enough to have any dog of my own that was very food motivated. Like Post Malone, I bait him with treats, but like at the same time, if he isn't into the treats or if he's more concerned with something else at that moment, he gonna say fuck the treat and it's just gonna be there for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I've seen so many people use some weird treats. Weird to me because I've never considered it. I've seen people taking like hot dogs, and so they got the hot dog in their mouth like a
Oh yeah, oh
cigar.
yeah. Hot dogs, beef jerky, pieces of chicken,
Pepperoni.
pieces of pizza, pepperoni. Yep. If
Yeah,
anything, hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, really? Like I remember Hannah. When she was on, she was telling us some of the things that she tries, and Christina did the same thing with like freeze-dried chicken or frozen liver, like chopped up liver, and like
Yep.
all these recommendations. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, for me, the first thing in my mind is, oh my God, the smell. Like the smell
See,
of the
with
thawed.
with Post Malone, there's literally I've tried, I think at least 15 different treats with Post Malone. There's only one that he even cares about when we get in the ring.
Wow.
Like if we're practicing outside or anything, he doesn't care about it at all. But there's a dehydrated liver. Like if and what's crazy is he doesn't even like it when it's hard. I literally gotta re-soak it in water and give it to him when we in the ring. Then he pays attention to it.
That is
Anything other than
learning
that,
your dog. That is knowing your dog. What you just said, though, that is
he
game
is
day type snack. Like
he is so
when it's
picky.
clutch time, this is what you go for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta
That's good
know. You
stuff,
gotta
man.
know. Uh, rabbit cheese in the comments. I was like, wait, what? Rabbit
Wait,
cheese?
what?
What the fuck is rabbit cheese? She'll tell me. Don't worry about it.
Hey, I saw Lance Lee bring like a whole tree limb, ABK food.
Hey, Lance big enough to walk around with a damn tree limb. Shit,
He had
I
a
can believe
branch
it.
that was like 18 inches. It was like a log, like it's thick, and he's
Yeah.
in Georgia.
Yeah.
And I was like,
What
oh
the
my God.
fuck?
And
And he's like the only guy that could
was
really,
it John
we could
Wayne
get
he
away
had
with
with
this
him?
to make this look normal. Like, this is it. This is it.
That's that
Yes,
Mississippi
this is
shit for
him
you.
all day.
Oh my God.
Hey, QK, man, we actually met you up in Georgia. This was about 2 years ago. We actually bought a stack stand from you the first time we met you.
Was it the the Columbus show?
Yep, it sure was.
I
You
remember
always had
meeting
your
y'all
booth like
before.
right there next to ringside, like between like ring
Yep,
1 and 2, normally right
yep.
there. And man, we ever since then, like, you know, watching you, man, you've really, really, like, obviously all the learning that we're learning now that you had before that, but I just, man, saw you transpire, and then like getting Post Malone and how you've really, really turned into this beautiful, beautiful program, man. Like, let's dive into your program. You know, we've talked about the stack boxing, we've talked about the wicketing. Like, let's talk about the program that you have.
Man, honestly, my program is still small. I don't even consider myself a breeding program yet because I've only had 2 litters personally. Right now I only have 1 active stud, and I have his littermate sister, Smixie, which is a pocket chocolate tri-female. She's not a show dog. She's our couch potato love bug until she comes back in heat. Then she'll be a mom. Post Malone is our active stud, my active show dog. I done recently took a break just to get my bearings back together, get everything back together, get a hold on life. But yeah, I've had a litter off of Grim, and I've had a litter off of I don't know if y'all know Mike Bears. He had a boy named Debo. I had a litter off of Debo. But that's really it for me. I have plans on growing in the future as far as having more dogs, but until that time comes, this is what it is right now.
Well, I love it because where it's going is
who produced Post Malone?
Post Malone and Smixie both came from the Stouts up in West Virginia. Roger and Dina.
Yeah.
Good source.
Yeah, those are my people. We actually got into showing at the same time, so I knew them before they had even had any puppies on the ground, before they had Machiavelli and Shabin. We got close way back when we both started.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know that. That's nice. Okay.
Yeah, so Post Malone came from them. What's crazy is, I've had Smixie, which is his sister, since they were 8 weeks old. Post Malone was their keeper.
Wow. Okay.
I also had another male from them that his name was Kovu. Like, I don't know about y'all, but with me, if I don't have I gotta have a connection with the dog I'm showing. Me and Kovu literally had no connection. He didn't care for men to handle him at all. But if I gave the lead to a woman, he was ready to go. I was like, okay, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, you little bastard, you.
Right. So, yeah, being that me and Kovu didn't work out as far as being like showing and handling, like we weren't the dynamic duo that they wanted to see with a dog they placed with me. We ended up rehoming Kovu, and they weren't gonna get rid of Post Malone at all. That was gonna be their baby, and I was like, hey, so since y'all ain't brought Post Malone out, like, what are the odds that I could come up there and pick him up? So I ended up talking them into letting Post Malone go, and they was like, I mean, if you want to make the drive, like this. I got Jody Santana brought Smixie to me at 8 weeks old. They were 8 months old by the time I got Post Malone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't get Jody to pick Post Malone up and put him on a plane because he was already like, I think 60-some pounds at 8 months. 60. So I ended up having to drive from Florida to West Virginia to pick Post Malone up, and fuck driving in those mountains.
What? No, like, how long is that drive?
I think it would have been shorter, but I had to drop a puppy off in Georgia. I want to say it ended up being like 11 hours and some change or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
worth the
not
drive,
great,
my friend. Worth the drive.
It was definitely worth it. And what's crazy is, like, they weren't doing any show training with him before I got him. They just did their basic behavior training, getting them used to his name. So literally a week after I got him, I took him to a show in Georgia.
How did that go?
I want to say he got 1 first place and 2 seconds with a I want to say it was like 3 days worth of training that we got in.
He's a natural.
Yeah, we fell into that connection naturally.
That's
That's what's up.
So
awesome.
what problems did you have not being able to, have any kind of connection to the dog to that age, already being, 6, 8 months old? Was there a lot of bad habits already there and things like that?
Honestly, no. But like I said, they had already started that behavior training, so like the basic leash stuff was there.
Yeah.
It was just working out the small kinks and getting him to understand that if I gave him a slight tug, I wanted him to move this way and stand on a certain side of me. That was literally the only thing, other than figuring out that he didn't like a whole lot of treats because I didn't have the time to.
Piggy, piggy, piggy. No, that's wow. I mean, that's like incredibly lucky. Again, like some dogs, they just come by it naturally, especially when they have like the right person with them.
Yep.
They're 'cause yeah, that bond that goes right down the lead. So I
Well,
get
Ring
it.
training,
how crazy is this though? Your breeding program, we're talking about it. You said you've only done 2 breedings, but the trajectory of your breeding program, because you started with the female, the littermate sister of Post Malone.
So my first breeding was with a female. It was a Clico daughter.
Yeah.
She was a
Also,
classic. She was a classic female. Um, none of those puppies. Actually, 2 of the puppies from the Grim litter turned out to be what I liked, but I also had other people that wanted them for their program. So, or I I had a brother that wanted a dog, so I put my favorite male with my brother, and he just turned into a couch potato that has terrible tendencies. So it was one of those things where I'll just let y'all, do y'all thing with him. If anything
right,
comes up where he ends up having a breeding,
Yeah.
cool. If not, I'm not mad at it because he's taken care of. The
Yes.
female that I like from that litter, she ended up having an incident and passed early. But she was turning out to be a beautiful girl. But yeah, other than since then, I haven't done any breedings. I thought about doing breedings,
Yeah.
but then at the same time, I didn't have the female for it. Then I ended up with Smixy. So now we're just waiting on her to come back and heat, and then me and Roger are putting something together.
Exactly.
nice. So when it comes to her, what exactly are you trying to either retain
Yeah.
or correct or amplify?
So no dog is perfect. Um, She has beautiful movement. I want to add more mass to her and a better dome. Like literally, other than that, like her top line isn't terrible, but it's also not the best. So if I can slightly improve that, great. I'd love that. I want to make more dogs like Post Malone. Like he's my ideal dog. There are certain things about him I'd love to improve, and if I
Yeah.
do get that from this breeding that we're planning, then y'all will see the results.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. No, I'm
Love
definitely
it.
excited
And
for
that's
that.
what I was trying to hit on. The trajectory of your program is so unmatched because you have Post Malone's littermate sister. So you're really, man, it's so I'm very keyed in on what you're gonna do with her. You're
Yeah,
talking about the breeding and you're getting excited about it, and I love that because the breedings you're doing Post Malone, but you have his littermate sister that you can really add something to what your program is,
most
and you
definitely.
are about to take off, and I'm excited for you.
Yeah, like she's a female version of him on a slightly shorter frame. She doesn't carry as much mass. So I'll put it into perspective. If y'all have ever looked at Post Malone's pig, she's a carbon copy of their mom. He's a carbon copy of their
Yeah.
dad.
There you go.
She's just a slightly shorter version of mom. So like I'm already winning by having Nomi Malone recreated, which is their mom. I'm already winning. So only thing we got to do is just add small things from here to improve
Right.
it.
So
So
do you know what his COI is by chance?
I can look in a second.
Okay.
I still
I
I
don't.
still need to get Jerry to do my pocket Helios. I need him. I need Jerry to do mine because his has got to be ridiculously high. He because his all of his relatives on from his mom's dad's mom. They all have the same face, like Dima Yem with Positive Vibes from Dadco. So he actually, so he's a Slim Shady grandson, and like I remember showing Dima a picture of him, and he was like, "Wow, that's Slim's mom," and like all the pictures he posts of the like distant cousins. These are cousins. They're not even like closely related to him, and they all have her face. It's hysterical. It's eerie, actually. So I'm really interested to find out what his COI looks like, because not only does he look the way he looks, but his one of his litter mates, actually several of his litter mates, have the same face. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
The COI is 25%.
Wow.
25. Okay,
Right.
so that's actually a really good place to be, because you can have a female with a high COI higher than that, and still pull from her as far as traits, but his are high enough where you can take quite a range there underneath it and push him through. So I wonder what his sister is. They're not always the same in litters.
Yeah, I haven't embarked her yet, but I'm assuming it won't be very far off. So
I've seen them be 10 points different.
what's crazy is, so when I did my first breeding, I embarked all those pups, and the lowest pup COI is 15%, the highest is 20, so they were all within 5% of each other.
Yeah.
And his being that he's, I want to say 4 times Rocco. I never advertise him based off his pay, but I want to say he's like 4 times Rocco. So, and I want to say that she'd be somewhere in that high 20 range as well, with how they're bred.
I know with XL, if I could pick a number, to be like, if I had a dog that had traits I was trying to keep, I would say 27. But when you get to standard and pocket, it can be a little lower than that, and be just as efficient. But with the XL, we have a bigger gene pool, and we need it to be a little higher.
Yeah, need to tighten it up. Yep.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I really like about what you just said, QK, is that you don't advertise his pedigree. And
I'm advertising the dog that's in front of you.
Yeah, I love that, because you don't effing have to, because it's post freaking loan. Like he speaks for himself. So I absolutely love that. No, I love that.
Even before Post Malone, if you look back at Gambit, when I was when I was promoting Gambit, when I was promoting Kovu, even then, like only with Kovu, I did do some promotion like with his dad, because Christian, what the fuck is Christian's last name? Christian that owns Kong in Illinois. Kong, I don't know if y'all know Kong, but Kong is Kovu's dad. So Christian did a lot of posting of Kovu and Kong side by side. So like that's the only pedigree promotion I ever did, was just telling people that was his dad, because his dad's owner was also proud to post Kovu. So like it was only fair
it's
to
collaboration,
share that.
almost. Collaborative marketing.
So to me, there's different reasons to look at a pedigree. Some dogs, like him, for example, speaks for himself. You don't really, you don't need to piggyback off of his pedigree, so to speak.
Yeah.
Most definitely, yeah.
But seeing where he got what he got and things,
most definitely,
and how far, whether it's grandpa or great grandma or whatever, that matters when you're lining things up in your own program.
Most definitely. So I'm glad you say that. I never said that I don't recommend people look at the pedigree, and I always, if anybody ever asks, I'll gladly send you his pedigree.
Just don't promote it.
Yeah. I like, people know Post Malone because I put in the work to put him out there and show them who the dog is, not because I advertise saying, hey, he's 4 times Rocco, his dad, it's all this close, that.
He's a badass. That's the bottom line.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
That's a
Thank
badass
you,
dog
thank you.
right there.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he really
Oh
is.
yeah, no, that's definitely. And the thing is like what Michael was saying is definitely because when you are lining things up for upcoming breedings, you know, the phenotype, the genotype, like you know what you're looking at, and the beauty of it is like obviously if someone's looking to you for studs, and you know obviously you know you hand them the pedigree and they're like, holy shit, okay, you didn't tell me all this, oh my god, I just thought he was just this awesome. And now they know that he's also backed up by that level of pedigree with that high of a
Right,
COI, so that can
right,
also help them kind of determine whether or not, like if
right.
they're looking to
And
not add like that much,
another,
then
I was gonna say, yeah, another time I bring his pedigree into play is when there's people that are looking to breed females that are also heavy on Rocco,
oh yeah,
because I would highly recommend against it. There's already enough Rocco in him up front. I don't
yeah,
want you to end up with any issues and come back and say it's Post Malone's
right,
fault because you didn't pay
right.
attention to the pedigree and you did too much heavily inbreeding and
Yeah.
you didn't do your outcrossing.
I
You know,
respect the hell out of
Gotta
that.
have, yeah, strategic outcrossing, man, and that's incredibly important for sure. Because yeah, that's ended badly
yep,
in a few instances that we all know of. So yeah, oh,
He would
absolutely.
be a good male.
Forthcoming.
He would be a really good male to take to a bridge dog. So, like, if somebody had an outcross that they were trying to use just to bridge,
yep,
that would be part his COI is in a good place for that. So, like, if somebody had a female with like a 4 or a 6 or an 8 or a 9 or
yep, most definitely.
even an 11 or
Yeah,
12,
yeah,
most of, if not all, them puppies are going to throw his way. They're going to throw. They're going to be like him.
yep,
Yep,
So he would be great for that. And then it's high enough where you can take a female that's not real low and still push through. So that's,
most definitely.
yeah, she could be in her 20s and go to him and not be and the puppies not be too high.
Correct.
right.
Yeah, that's a good play.
Strangely,
That's a good thing
comes
to
out all
do.
in the wash. Weird. Genetics are
They
weird.
are weird.
Genetics are.
Adam was asking earlier the different. He was wanting us to talk about the difference in COR and
So
COI. Does anybody know about that?
I have no idea
So,
what COR
hit
is.
it.
I just learned myself. So, COR is how they determined COI before we had genetic testing, and it's not quite as accurate, but it's close.
Mm-hmm.
So it's paperwork guesstimation
Okay.
based on the pedigrees. So if you have a puppy, that puppy is 100%. That puppy's parents are 50-50. The grandparents are
Hmm.
25, 25, 25, 25, and
Right.
so
Right.
on
Right.
and so on and so forth. And so you can add the boxes that way and determine it's an average of what that COI is at,
Right.
and that's done off the paperwork, off the pedigree. So it's not always right, but it is a way that you can guesstimate what the COI would be, and they call that the COR.
Okay.
Interesting. So it's just a estimate, just math, kind of math.
It is. It is. It's
Math.
kind
I
of
don't know if I feel like doing. Oh my god.
it can put you close. Matter of fact, like a lot of people came into this from underground pit bull worlds back in the 80s and 90s and things like that, and
Mhm.
Hmm.
that's how they did all that. When they had those photocopied black and white magazines and stuff, and they were keeping
Yeah.
up with all this stuff. That's how they added it up to see whether they could line inbreed a little further or if they had to go out.
Yeah.
Was by
Good outcross.
the COR, and that's how they did it. Yeah.
What's the
Got you. Okay.
What's that, Caleb?
what's the R for?
I can't hear you.
What's the
What
R
is
stand for in COR?
Relations, my wife said.
Which,
Coefficiency
okay.
relation. It's coefficiency relation.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Coefficient
Makes sense.
relations. Yeah.
Adam says, quit sharing the sauce, Michael. Share it.
You
Share
brought it
it.
up, Adam.
Hey, that's what we're here for,
Yeah.
Adam. That is what we are here for. That's why we do these lives, is to educate people, to give them the tools they need, not to create gremlins.
That's right. I'm a firm believer, man, that the more people know and understand how all this works, the better dogs we have,
Right.
as a community. So
I agree with that, but the downside is you got to actually have people that listen to that information.
Yeah.
People got to be ready to listen and comprehend, man.
But here's the way it goes. This is just my opinion. This is how I see it. So if the top 20 breeders in the gang, in the whole bully world, in the whole bully, community, if they are all going by that standard, then what are you going to do if you want to compete with that? You're going to have to do it. And
Yeah.
so if the top of the food chain would get on board with that kind of knowledge,
Yeah.
then everybody else would be inadequate if they're not doing it. So it kind of forces their hand at that point, like, man, Caleb's offering this and this and this and this. What are you offering?
Right.
And then it's kind of like, well, we better start doing this. We better start learning this, or we're going to fall behind. And I think that's the best way to go about it. It motivates everybody to learn it.
Oh,
True.
absolutely. I mean, it's just access. I mean, I feel like that's what we peddle access.
Right. Yeah.
We peddle access to people that have been doing what they've done, for years. They all have their unique insight into different areas. And they have all been a go-to by other people. So obviously their nature is to mentor. And so that's another reason why I wanted you, QK, is because you do love helping people. Like, just like you said, people would randomly walk up to you and be like, I don't know how to wicket my dog. You'd be like, come here. I mean, you could easily be like, no, I mean, buy one and I'll show you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the thing is you are just so out with it. It's like, no, come here, let me tell you how to do it. This is why you do it this way. Don't do it that way. Ins and
Yeah.
outs. You show them how to use the stack box. It's insight. It's insightful. It's
Yeah.
we
At
need
the
more.
end
What's
of
up? That's what it is. That's what's
at
up.
the at the end of the day, if we not teaching the people that are coming in how to actually do it, then they won't actually get anywhere with what they're trying to achieve or what they're trying to accomplish.
My wife always says a little saying. She says, I don't have to dim somebody else's light to let mine shine.
Most definitely, never
So,
do, never have, never will.
Yeah.
Where I can help you do better. I don't need you to mess up so I can do well. I'm gonna do well by myself.
Exactly.
So I want to help everybody do all I can do. I ain't tripping. I'll share it. I like to share it.
Oh,
I always try to
absolutely.
hit, especially the kids, man. I love to get a chance to. Them kids are getting into handling just their little sponges, man.
Oh,
Hold on.
Let's see
Speaking
it. Let's
of,
see
Here we go.
oh,
Here we
hold
go.
on. Give me a second.
it.
tutorial coming.
Look, while
No,
we're talking,
I love watching
while he's
juniors.
doing whatever he's doing, what's
Yeah.
up with the neck on that dog he's got?
Man, Post Malone. Oh, hey, Post Malone was at Dewan show. We've all seen him.
Yeah,
He won
I
best
know.
in class right in front of
I'm,
me.
I'm familiar
Look,
with him. What's up with his neck, man?
he was still
Look
he
at
was
him in
still a
his
Yeah.
baby.
eye.
The
He
freaking
was still a
Hunchback of
baby.
Notre Dame, man. That dude's got a bull neck like nothing I ever seen, man.
Yeah, you
Oh,
have to take a second glance. Like again, just like I've said it before, like there's certain dogs where
all
like you
right, he's
have
back.
to take a second
Oh,
glance.
Junior Handler. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Labor Day,
the
Junior Handler.
Oh,
yeah,
I like that.
Errol and Perlina reached out to me to do a custom stack box for the junior handler winners at their show that's coming up in
Labor Day.
September.
Yeah, the Labor Day show.
No,
That's
August.
right, in
It's actually
Columbia.
it's actually in August. It's in
Oh,
August,
okay, August.
but it's their Labor Day show, but it's in August. They reached out to me to do these stack boxes, so I did 2 of these for them for
That's
their
awesome.
junior handler winners.
I seen that on your page, man. That looks really good.
Oh,
I
that's gonna be
appreciate it.
such a fun thing to win. Oh,
I
Yeah.
really like the style of the way you have the notches versus the way
Mhm.
a lot of other people do it,
The
because I
Velcro.
feel like it's the longevity is better for the box
Oh,
that way.
most
When you're
definitely.
when you're putting it on Velcro between screws, I mean, you're not going to do that a million times. You'll wear it out. That right
Exactly.
there,
Right.
you're good for life with that box.
Yeah, my
Mhm.
personal stack box, that I have, I made it when I first started doing stack boxes. I want to say it was like maybe the fifth stack box I ever made. It was, hey, I see that. Wait, I wasn't paying attention on here. I got it
I
pulled up
know.
on my goddamn
I was
PC,
like,
so it popped up. I'm like, wait, okay, I got you.
I wanted to show you. I
Appreciate
didn't
you.
want to take away
shameless
from your
plug.
message, but I want to show you.
I'm here for it.
But my first stack box, my personal stack box, I made it in 2018, 2019. That stack box is still up and kicking, not a single issue, not a problem at all. Never had a problem with it. So that's one thing about my stack boxes. When I make them to last. I don't make them so you got to come back to me and buy another one in a year or two.
Yeah.
Right.
The one I
You're
was
like,
just
I'm not Apple.
what
My
2 years,
products don't stop working a year from now.
2 years that one that I just do, and this boy right there, but
Yep. Still,
I don't. You know, but
that's still good to say. That same day you got it.
but but yeah,
Big Jen.
Look at Big Jen, man.
man, his kids, things like that. So you're talking about the durability, I'm showing you the strength of the size of what the size of dogs that can really go on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have
Hey,
dogs.
when I first started like advertising my stack boxes, the easiest way to put it, as far like a question that I used to get all the time is how much weight can it hold? How big of a dog can it
Right.
hold? At the time I was like 173 and my ex-girlfriend was like 140, 150. I put both the things on there for the dogs to stand on. I stood on one, she stood on the other.
Yeah,
I hopped up and down a little bit, and that's not a single issue. So hey, that should answer your question. That's 300 pounds somebody.
Yeah.
I love it.
If there's a 300-pound bully, there's a problem.
Right, exactly.
I
Dang.
like the
No, that's
boxes quite a bit, man.
yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I will be getting one from you. We'll talk about it.
All you gotta do
I,
is shoot me a message.
I want to get one custom made for my daughter.
Um, like so, for anybody that's wondering the easiest way to place an order, you can message me and ask questions. But the easiest way to place an order is go on my website. It's legendarybullies.com, and everything is there, and it's very straightforward.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Yeah, they're good. They're good looking boxes. I've got one that's it's up on a stand and it folds down, so it can be 2.5 feet off the ground, or it can be low,
Okay.
and honestly, it's served its purpose, but um, the design of it's a little much, and so it's I'm having trouble getting it to hold right now, but it's really just a balance thing. I've just wore it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 But I'm ready to get another one. I'm gonna get a custom one from you.
Oh,
All right. Hey, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, hey
Yep.
QK, call out King Charles, best stack boxes ever. I agree with that. That
I
was the first
appreciate
one we
y'all.
bought, and that was the only one we've bought. So if that shows you the durability, like I
I
can,
appreciate
got some
y'all.
big dogs, and they use that thing a lot on all of them, especially when they're training the up and comings. So
Yeah.
that speaks volumes for sure.
I think the biggest dogs that we've had on there, aside from some of the XLs in the community, would be some bull mastiffs. There, I can't even remember the lady name. There was a lady that reached out to me on Instagram like 4 years back. She was like, so will a big dog fit on it? I was like, yeah. She was like, can you show me proof? I was like, I was lucky enough at that time. I had a show coming up in Kissimmee, so I knew there was gonna be somebody with an XL there. I was like, yeah, just give me a couple days. I can send you a video. So we ended up getting the
Yeah.
XL. I want to say that dog was. I think I remember him saying that dog was like somewhere around 150, 160 or something, and he
Mhm.
was like 24 inches tall or some shit. But yeah, I gave her a proof. She was like, "Yep, I'm sold. I don't have any more questions."
Yeah. That was it. Thank you. Oh,
Mike,
but yeah,
question.
you got it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's when they last that long and you can go through generations of your dogs with one stack box, that's awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
dang.
like some people might say it's not so good for business, but at the same time, I mean, it really is. It just shows how good of a product I have. But at the same time, I don't necessarily have repeat customers for stack boxes, but they will come back because they know how good my customer service is. They know how good of a product I sell, so they'll come back for wickets, leads, or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's also, it's just that, it's that word of mouth marketing, because whenever anybody's just like, I'm in the market for a stack box, you'd be like, I know the guy. I know the guy. Especially when they're like, oh, I want my logo on it, or, you know,
Yeah,
it's like, I know the guy. Here's the guy.
Especially
word
Get
of
with the guy.
put you over the top.
word of mouth is my biggest form of advertising.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're muted. You're muted.
Michael.
There you go.
I bet he's saying something so good right now.
Yeah.
Too.
No, I was saying, as far as your logos, how do you put them on there? Because it looks really good. I couldn't tell if it was a wrap or.
It's a wrap.
That's
It's
what
a custom vinyl print, like the same style as far as getting your car custom wrapped. It's the same concept.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, that's
Nice.
really nice. Yeah,
I'll see if I can get a.
that's the way to go, man.
Oh, there you go. Oh, don't pull nothing.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna try to.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it'll pick up, but I also put there it is. The ABKC logo is in the background of these.
I see that.
There it is.
That's so well done. Oh, I like that.
I like it, man.
Speaking of shameless plugs, Caleb, Candy wants to see the babies.
Candy knows my number.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
You heard that?
look at him go.
You heard that? But she said please.
But what if I want to see the babies? I have been following little Pee Wee for a while now. He's got one of the smaller pups named Pee Wee, and I love watching posts of him, you know,
That's the only peep y'all
growing
get?
and being handled and cared for by their two beautiful daughters.
He was the one
Yeah.
on a piggy bank or something the other day, wasn't he?
Yeah. It was like, oh my goodness. Oh, I love puppies. They're kryptonite. It's bad. I should never ever be allowed to be around puppies, because I end up trying to call Matt. I'm like, hey, are we? He's like, no.
Hey, did that
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
crew, y'all see him though?
Huh?
I did. I don't know if she was paying attention.
Oh, no. I was too busy watching Michael blip off.
Well, QK, it was geared for you, and then Fred said something. So Amanda, hey, you can watch the replay of it. No, I'm sure.
I'm gonna punch you in the face, sir. Oh, babies! Oh my goodness!
Oh, big puppies.
Well, look at that color palette, man.
Oh my gosh! Like the muzzle,
Color
the head. Oh my gosh! These puppies are beautiful.
Yeah, they look like they're gonna have nice short muzzles, big broad heads.
And what's crazy is, hey, another topic real quick. These puppies were born on day 56. Have y'all ever had a litter that early?
My first litter was actually day 57.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so it was one and done. Of course, you know, it was one breeding, so it's not guessing anything like that. But day 56, I was like, wow. You know, reverse progesterone, everything like that. You know, she was 0.6. They took her.
Mm-hmm.
Man, all the puppies were developed. You know, we have Pee Wee. He was, you know, the one that was most underdeveloped, but he was in that mix that I just showed y'all. He's no longer incubated by any means. He is completely living. And this entire litter, 13 on day 56. Like, she was like, I am having them today. I don't care what you say.
Right. Yeah, hope y'all ready, because it's happening. It's going down. I want these out now.
I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't go for 2 litters at once, because 13 on top of whatever else would have came is pain.
Woo! He's done that.
Hey,
This man.
My wife is
like he's done that. He has had multiple litters at the same time that overlapped by what, 2 weeks? Was it 3 weeks?
Well, we had 4 litters within 4 weeks, but that is my wife, 100%. Nakia Weddle, Bully Pride Production, on right now. Like, she is the whelper. She keeps it all together, like the whelping and just the litters that's going on. We just finished the breeding. What was that, yesterday? That breeding. That's going to produce some beautiful dogs. But we're not talking about us, QK. We're talking about you, my man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, this is for everybody.
We just
Hey,
wanted to see puppies. That was it. Caleb just decided to hijack the interview. It's fine.
this is for everybody.
Yes, but no, Post Malone, man. We actually, man, I don't know if you know, like, so we met you like 2 years ago. And then we've ran into you multiple times, you know, and we talk in passing, things like that. Nothing but respect, please know. And then we saw you in November of last year. We saw you at the Juan show, and I ended up having to show Genesis because Nakia was, I don't know what she was doing, but we won in the class, so then we went up against you for best in show.
Man.
You were right in front of me, man. You remember it?
Yeah, I remember. Trust me, I remember. Because when we got best in show, you was one of the first people to come shake my hand, and you damn near shook my arm off.
That's Caleb. That's Caleb for you.
That fucking grip. I was like, oh, fuck.
I was so genuinely excited for you because I saw the work that you did with your boy, man. And to share
I appreciate it.
It was a complete honor to share the ring with you. To be right next to you was even more of an honor. And like to see you win, and it was so very well deserving. A lot of people leave the ring saying, no, my dog, man, you felt it. I genuinely was excited for you, and man,
and even before the judge started making rounds, I think I remember you saying, dude, that boy is nice as fuck.
Yeah, that sounds like Caleb.
It might not have been the same vocabulary, but yes, same message.
But same difference.
Oh yeah, but no, man, nothing but love, man. Your boy has developed so well, and man, your handling is so well. You were talking about that earlier, you know, the representation in front of the judge. You did that behind the lens of a camera as well, and I really want to hit on all your accolades because there's so many different things that you do. The representation you put in front of the judge is the same representation you put in front of our eyes on social media. So job well done.
Yes.
I appreciate it. I do my best to make sure whatever I'm advertising is what you will see when you run across me in person, because I don't want to have to hide anything. If I gotta hide it, then I don't need to have it.
I was at that show. I got to see the whole thing, the handshake, that whole deal. And yeah. And let's not forget Jennison dropping the monster deuce right there as soon as he come in the ring.
Jen. Yeah, I felt so bad because again, he did Caleb doesn't handle Jen as often as Nakia does, because they just have this wicked bond that, like, you could just see it at the eminence. But like, so he was like, oh shit, I gotta take him in here. He tried to take him outside so that he could go. And I don't think he did, obviously. So he's like, oh, I must not need to go. He gets in the ring, and he's not looking. He's looking probably like in y'all's direction or whoever's direction he was. He was not looking at Jen, who was behind him taking a giant jump.
Yeah, St. Bernard done.
Yeah.
But we weren't supposed to be in the ring together, but me and you. But fate brought us together where me and Genesis won the class at the XL. So I told Nakia, I was like, you're not taking the lead now. I'm
right. Right.
So that's why we were in the ring together, because she wasn't there to show Genesis during the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Genesis wanted to make sure that you understood how he felt about the situation.
Oh,
and what's bad though is because again, he wasn't even looking at Jen when he was doing it. He only turned around because all he heard was us kind of chuckling and going, oh no, and he was like, wait, what? Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
But again, back to the regular broadcasting. But man, like since that day, I felt that your boy really, really got the recognition he deserves, because best in show obviously is the recognition, and your boy
most definitely
shows, you know, the representation of the breed. And since then, you've blossomed with them. And, you know, what is he a champion? What class, what registries he's a champion in?
He's a champion now in ICBR and ABKC. That ICBR show is the show he champed out at. I literally only came to champ him out, and I drove solo. I was supposed to have somebody ride with me for that trip, and I would have stayed for both shows. But I ended up, once we got it in that first show, I was like, "Yep, I'm out. I got to get off this road." Because I think I drove 6. I want to say it was like right at 6 hours or something that morning.
Yeah.
I drove like 6 hours that morning.
Straight back home.
And straight back home.
You beat our ass. You left.
Hey, it wasn't about beating nobody ass. No, it was just like, literally. It was. I know. It was all literally just for that champion title. So his first champion title was that day with ICBR. I haven't been back to an ICBR show since because I wanted to get that accomplishment with ABKC. I want to try to go for Grand Champ in ABKC, then turn around and go champ in BRC. But BRC champion may come before ABKC Grand, but who knows? And then once me and Post achieve both of those, we'll turn back around and go Grand Champ in ICBR.
Everything that you just said, you're gonna do if you push it. Your boys.
I appreciate it. I've been told by many people, the only thing that's holding me back right now is life and money.
Yeah. I feel that on a very personal level.
Man.
This what we do is expensive, man. It's expensive.
I know. Traveling, the whole driving portion of it, hotels, everything. Like dog food.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep it under $1,000 if you're going out of state.
It is. Oh yeah.
It can't be done, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's. I got lucky. So the last show we went to was a Missouri show. We went to a Missouri show. It was our second time showing in the champion class. I got lucky for that trip because it was an hour away from where one of my buddies stays. So my buddy was like, "Hey, if you coming up this way, you can just stay at the house. We got an empty room." I was like, "Oh, say less. Let's go."
Look me.
Yeah, right.
I'd like to make my reservation for the night of
right. And what's crazy is there's the 2-day ABKC show up in Indiana, Michigan area in September. And he stays in Indiana. I hit him up. I was like, "Hey, so how far are you from here?" He was like, "That's like 4 hours. You're not staying here and driving there the next morning or whatever." I was like, "I bet you I fucking will."
That's my limit. 4 hours, like 4 hours there, 4 hours back, and like if it's past that, I typically won't do it. Just because 9 times out of 10. Fate would have it that literally the weekends that there are shows are weekends that Matt is working. So there's nobody else to care for the other dogs that we have. So one of which is she's like 11. It's not an option to put her in the car and go. You know what I mean? I have to come back for her. So it's like 4 hours. That's the limit. You know, and that's why. Because I will. I can and I will.
We ain't got them that close to us, so they're all more than 4 hours away from us.
Yeah. When I was in Florida, it was kind of more convenient, but being here in Mississippi, the closest ABKC shows we get, we had one in Arkansas, but everything else is gonna be in Georgia, somewhere up in Tennessee near Nashville. So it's all gonna be 4+ no matter what.
Were you at the Spa City show?
I was. That was his first time in the champion class. Yeah.
Yeah, we were there. I thought I seen you there.
Yeah, that was his first time in the champion class.
Yeah. That was a good show.
Hey, side note, I would like to give a lot of praise, man. I've been really watching this. Rolando and Christopher James. And Christopher James, they have been putting on for ABKC. They have been putting on shows almost every weekend. The Georgia, Florida, just the East Coastal region. Like, man, people ask for them. They're really coming, so I really just wanted to kind of put that in people's face, kind of in their mind too, because like the Bowling for Bullies that they did, the night before the show.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, the fun.
Yeah, man. more shows coming, so that's awesome. More people like that really put shows like they are. Definitely get them.
Oh, for sure. Michael, speaking of fun, Adam wanted to know how big that fish was that you caught this past weekend.
I know he did. It was about as big as the one he caught.
Huh? Would he agree with
big as the
that?
one he caught.
Would he agree with that?
I would say that he would agree that the fish I caught is definitely as big as the one he caught.
They went on a fishing trip this past weekend with Raoul from QB&K. Sorry, I can't talk today. I've had a rough, dyslexic day today.
Hey, I understand. I had those too.
Man, it's been bad. I work with numbers and stuff, so it's bad.
Oh yeah.
I have to literally read everything again. Okay, yeah. So bad. Everything takes me twice as long on those days, and today was one of those days. So, but okay. So Adam's like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What's up, Hildry?
Oh yeah, hey man, hey some good people on watching, and hey, I love that too, and I love what y'all did this weekend, Michael. All of y'all probably caught about the same size fish, but it was the camaraderie. It was the message that was really being brought across this weekend. Just kind of like what we're doing with the live. QK, the reason why I brought you on, because of course you're the same way, man. It's just a positive energy towards the breed, doing it the right way, man, educating, and I love what y'all did, man. Just, little light,
Blue on our face.
Love it.
I'll tell you what, it was great, man, to have some of the best minds, some of the most educated people and respected breeders in one place, that I got to share the space with, to have I was like, oh, what kind of questions can I come up with? Just
You're
digging
writing
deep.
them down. It's like, okay, I'm going to ask him this. I'm going to ask him this. I'm going to ask him this.
Man, and we did some deep diving, man. Really, really dug into some things that, hard conversations to find somebody to have. And
yeah.
And that's what it was all about. I really enjoyed the camaraderie of the whole thing. Look at that dude right there.
I know, that's what I was saying. Like, oh my gosh, I just look at his face. I just want to take his jowls and just squish
Look
him.
at his wrist. He's making my wrist look small.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at the bone on that dude.
I know. It's ridiculous. It just doesn't make any sense. It's fantastic.
Come this way.
We speak of
Bully the
Christopher
kid?
James, and he shows up, and Lord Jesus, he shows
There's
up.
There's that neck I was talking about.
Oh my God. That's
irresponsible.
That's an irresponsible neck right there.
It's
The straight disrespectful.
I mean, disrespectful neck on that dog, man.
Disrespectful neck. God dang. Oh, Caleb.
Looks like he's got a necktie on the bottom of his neck, pinching into it too tight where it's bulging out. Yeah, bro, I'm talking about you, man.
Big old baby.
That's a big old baby.
Look how
that's
spoiled Rodney is, man.
See him wicketed.
Okay, give me a second. Let me make some space.
Yeah. Oh no, that's I appreciate you being willing to even do that.
Yeah. Christopher James, damn you.
Like, oh shit, how long is it going to take before Caleb sees this?
I'm being cute and trafficked at the moment, says Christopher James. I'm in my...
He'll be in a movie. It's fine. You know what? You should write about it.
Oh, I know.
Oh, kid, you should write about it. Write about it. Put it in a magazine somewhere, and then no one will know where Caleb is for like a year. It's gonna be great.
Oh my gosh. No, Christopher James, man. Hey, thank you so much. Your support, man. It's unwavering. Man, hey, that bullies are bowling for bullies. I love it. I wanted to go on his live and be like, hey, I'm in the corner. I don't know if I'm shy. I don't want to say anything. And Christopher James would have walked over there and talked to the guy in the corner, and it wasn't me. But he would have done you know, just the mess with him. But man, he stands for such good things, and he's such a good outpour of just positivity and just bullies. Boy,
You broke up there for a minute.
hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Caleb, blink twice if you need some help.
I do not have a good place to sit the phone up here.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
True.
there we go. Blink twice.
And that boy looks good.
Oh, I can't do it. Oh.
So the demonstration of the whicket, everybody.
Yes.
They demonstrate whicket, but also a perfect stack as well.
Yeah.
It'll be at the base of the neck, at the top of the shoulder.
Uh-huh.
Right at that point. Oh, you just got to make sure when you wicket, you're on a level surface.
Okay, so level surface, stack the dog, make sure they're leaning. Yeah. Got it.
I don't have his base, so he doesn't really care.
You like fix yourself, son.
And we ain't done no stack work in a couple months.
Man, hey, I appreciate
Be able to tell.
It's the #1 dry cat food in America.
And he should come back to like right at 17 if he stops leaning back. Hold on, let me go find some bait right quick. I'll leave him there.
Hey, he was doing
Good.
good.
Wow.
He was good. You would never know that like you saying that he hadn't you guys hadn't worked on stacking for months, like you would never be able to tell. That dog is
It all come
pro.
down to that once you do get all that initial training done, it's just like riding a bike.
Yeah, man. I can take pressure out there no matter how long it's been, man. He'll as soon as he knows what I'm trying to do, he'll freeze for me.
Yeah. Adonis is relatively the same way. I typically like right before a show, within like a week or so before the show, I'll take him to Lowe's a couple times, just to walking.
Yeah.
I almost died when I seen your baby picture of that puppy. Amanda,
Helios, yeah, he was such a butterball. I want to say I didn't get him until he was about 16 weeks old. Oh, there we go. Nope. Look.
I've always really liked him. Helios. He's just his color. You just don't ever see him like that. Not that tone of red. You just don't
Love
see it.
Yeah, I've become a big fan of the red sable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Another great stack.
So what's the marker on the back they're really looking for to measure to get
let me pick the phone.
It's where the neck meets the wither.
So
I don't know if I can't see what y'all can see, but on some dogs it's not as defined. It's literally at the base of the neck, right at the shoulder. You'll see where it stops.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Where the neck muscle ties into the shoulders.
Yep, and that is the wither.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And that's where you actually want to measure with and so the wickets that you use all have an actual level on it,
right?
So that you can tell when you're not leaning too far one way or the other,
right?
Because that'll be inaccurate.
My grandfather went back when Harmony was much smaller.
Good job. Good puppy.
He's right at 17.
Nice ass dog, buddy.
He's 17 and a half.
17 and a half.
Yep.
Harmony Bay grew when father retired. He started with the waist.
Hey, QK.
What's up?
That's awesome because
We support
you.
you.
There you go.
We support you, my friend. We support
I
you.
appreciate it.
Not the croc,
Plug.
not the little croc, not the little croc, but the other two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you for
And
showing us that. Because again, it's something that we all should familiarize ourselves with, so that way, if we do have access to a wicket, we would know how to actually execute measuring
Right.
our
Or when somebody calls for your dog to be measured at a show and you're watching them do it, you say like, "Hold on, that ain't the right spot."
They're
Right.
like, you lean in.
And if it ain't a judge that's measuring, then some people get butt hurt when you tell them they doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
completely
But
agree with that. Hey, but I love the added addition of the level that you put on there. Was that your touch, or did you get that from another level that you saw?
no, so that product is actually made by a company that well, they sourced it, but once I found out that someone else was using that product. Actually, no, it's the same. So the wickets that I sell are the same wicket that I saw the ABKC judges measuring with before I started selling them. But
Yeah.
no one could ever tell me where they got them or how to get them or anything. So
It's
I
annoying.
ended up sourcing and finding the company that sells them, and when it comes down to the dog stuff, I ended up developing a personal relationship with them where they sell me wickets to resell. They don't sell them to anybody else that
Nice.
does dog
Nice.
stuff.
What?
And
Exclusive. I like
hey,
it.
no, no, no. Now I got something exclusive for y'all for real now. Y'all gonna be the first to hear it. This same company that I order my wickets through, they are remaking a new wicket that's specified for the dog stuff and what we do. So hopefully in the end it'll be what we're using now, but better.
Nice. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
hard to
Which
mess up
right
if
now,
you're
yeah. Which
measuring
right now,
properly.
right now it's straightforward and hard. It's still hard to mess up, but at the same time, um, so like I don't know if anybody ever pays attention. There's not where is I left the wicket in the front, but there's number increments on the wicket that there's a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's how many. Like I don't know if y'all know anything about horses, but horses are measured in hands.
Hands.
Hands,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So the single digit numbers that are on the wickets are for measuring mini horses. This is stuff that people always ask me, like what are the four, there's a 4, 5, a 6, 7, 8 on the wicket. It's for
Yeah.
measuring mini horses. So yeah, we repurposed mini horse measuring sticks to use for dog wickets. So now that same company is going to make something specific for dogs and remove the whole hand confusion and everything else.
Oh,
And they're
wow.
going to
I
make
never
so
noticed that those wickets were had hands on them.
yeah. And the current wickets, the full size. I don't even know if I have any left right now. Hold on. The full measurement of one is like 39 inches or something, and they're gonna make it where I don't have any left. They're gonna make them where they're about 28 inches at the tallest point on the wickets that I'll be ordering.
Oh.
So now everybody will have the same compact wicket that I walk around with versus the slightly longer one.
Ah, okay. Oh, that's handy. That's super handy. Do you find there to be any issues when it comes to shoulder angulation when it comes to trying to properly measure?
Sometimes, not always. It more so comes down to the how it the biggest factor that helps with somebody figuring out where it is that they're measuring is the amount of definition in that dog's neck
Yeah.
and how steep that slope is where the neck meets the shoulder. That's the easiest way to identify that point. So when a dog lacks that amount of neck muscle, that's what makes it a little bit harder sometimes, but not always.
Yeah, because that was a question that Adam had asked, and I was like, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
If the head is stood up real tall, it's easier too.
Yep. Because then their neck is more so straight up versus leaning forward and taking that curvature out.
And sometimes I've noticed that if you're just sort of trying to look and pinpoint it, if a dog doesn't have that defined neck, it's a lot harder. But you can run your hand down the neck of
And
the dog,
you'll be able
and
to
you're
feel that
Yeah.
meeting point.
yeah, where the muscle separates right there. Yep.
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 That
Yep.
that's information people really need to take out of. You know, obviously the massive information you share, but really, you know, exactly where it goes. So that's something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Yep.
commonly mistaken.
You can actually feel, you run your hand in the grooves of the muscle and feel where the neck muscle stops and the shoulder starts.
Yeah.
That would be it. And like he was saying, if the dog's head is good and tall, and it's a lot easier to feel that point of where it stops or starts, depending on which way you go.
Yeah.
I find that
And
it's easier to go from the head down instead of the shoulders up to find it
yep.
because of
Yep.
the direction of the hair.
Yeah, because if y'all paid attention to when I was going to, like, when I was showing y'all the point on Post Malone, every time I started at his head and went down the curve of his neck and met there. And if the dog has a neck that is as muscular and defined as Post Malone's,
Yeah.
if you go for that bait drop and make him drop his head, it puts more curvature there and makes that neck pop more, and it shows it's easier to see where it meets on that wither.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It ain't hard to see it on him, no matter what he's
yeah.
doing.
Yeah. Post Malone's, like that neck just,
That dude
it's
got a neck like Goldberg on
it's a
him. You know what I'm saying?
disrespectful neck.
Yeah.
Pretty
Look at
disrespectful.
this dude up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, how old is Post Malone?
Post Malone is 1 year and 7 months. Yeah, he's still a
19
baby.
He
months.
ain't close to done yet.
Yeah, and I don't know, like I don't know if y'all pay attention to any pictures, but like right now he's down on weight. We ain't like he's been a couch potato for the past 3 months.
So
We ain't been doing no
what are you
conditioning,
gonna
not
do when he
keeping like
pops, young sir? Because he hasn't yet.
I know, I know. So when hopefully I'm hoping to be able to get to the Indiana show, but we next week we'll start back conditioning just in case we can make it. And I put that weight back on him because he's down like 5 pounds right now. This
Well,
Mississippi
if I
heat
may
is
give some good
unbearable.
advice on that right there. So when you have a dog ready, like pre-pop age, right, getting close to about 20 months, you can
Yep.
start bringing in beef liver and hamburger meat
Oh no,
as a
when
good
we start
source of protein. And it
when
doesn't
we
matter if you
do
cook it or not, really, but
when we get ready for show when we're prepping for shows, he's on a raw diet.
yeah, but I mean, I'm
Nice.
talking about the beef liver and the hamburger meat in particularly are a good source of the protein for a pop.
Oh, yeah.
Got you.
When
I
they're
got you.
getting ready to.
When they're at that age where they're fixing to start putting on that pop weight, uh, that's what I've been told is the best thing to start. Even if you're already feeding a full raw diet, you want to bring those two things in. You
Got
want to
you. Okay.
bring that 73-27 hamburger meat that's got a good high fat content,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
You don't want anything
bring
too lean. It's not going to really
and
do its
Right.
job because they
bring
need
in the
fat
beef
content as
liver.
well.
The beef liver. Yep.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. Now, QK, do you, so what all registries, I know you said that you went to the ICBR in November that was in Bessemer down here.
Mhm.
What other registries do you go to? I know that BRC's having something in Chattanooga, I want to say soon, the Bully
Uh,
Olympics.
so as of right now, like before I started ICBR, I was strictly ABKC. I did one BRC show before then, but with Post Malone, I want to have him in BRC, ABKC, and ICBR.
And rightfully so.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Different
You want to take him
platforms, different opportunity,
everywhere.
Yeah,
be shown.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. So as of now, I can only say he's been in ICBR and ABKC, but he will be venturing into BRC at some point this year.
Yeah.
Dang.
Shout out to
He's
Caleb
been
Green, man.
17
Got a heck of an operation going there.
17 months.
Yep, 17 months.
Oh,
No, 19 months. 19
months.
19 months.
A year and 7
Yeah.
months. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hey.
So you have somebody asking here when a dog really starts to pop.
It varies.
Yeah,
That
it depends
varies.
on the blood, depends on how. But for males, it's usually somewhere between 18, 19 months to 3 years.
Yeah.
What
It's hard to call it. And something that a lot of people don't know that I realized when I went to pick Post Malone up, there's a difference between raising a dog in the South versus raising a dog in the
Yeah.
North. You'll start to see a pop sooner when you got a dog in the North because the temperatures aren't as harsh up there as they are down here. So you can keep more weight on a dog up there,
Yeah.
and you got hills to run them on and everything. So it's easier to see a dog mature faster
You can
up
exercise
north.
them for longer. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Because the weather doesn't
yeah,
suck.
because like Post Malone, for instance, when I picked him up, he had some size on him for an 8-month-old puppy. I was like, okay, well, I haven't fucking seen this before in fucking Florida. And so I get him back to Florida. He starts dropping weight. I'm like, wait. So I call Roger. I was like, Roger, how much were you feeding him? He said, he only ate like 3.5 cups a day.
Yeah.
He ate once a day, 3.5 cups. I was like, okay, that's what I'm feeding him. He was like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that it's a little different up here. I was like, I see that now.
Oh no, absolutely. Well, and the thing is there's and just like Michael said, it can differ in accordance to bloodline. Like I know that Helios had his first pop roughly about 16 months. His half brother had one closer to 14 months. They both had the same sire, and so it was just one of those things where, like, right at 14 months, I was expecting him to have his first pop, and nothing. So I started to get a little worried. I was like, oh no, is it? And then literally roughly around like 16 months, he just blew up, and he looks like a totally different dog than he used to.
Right.
And that's just his first pop. Like, because I am close to the people that I got him from, like watching his dad throughout the years, like he ain't done yet. Like he's probably gonna pop, 2 to 3, maybe even 4 more times, depending. So
usually
yeah,
the heads will grow on up to about 3 years or so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because his dad just recently turned 4 and he popped within the last month or so.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, how? First of all, why? The how, because he's a big dude already. So it's one of those things that, like, I feel like that's impossible that he could get any bigger. But then you see the pictures, you're like, God dang, it's again a totally different dog. So yeah, it definitely it can vary. Like the first pop's going to vary in accordance to every dog. Some bloodlines take longer than others, but they will pop more than once. So don't panic when they pop the first time and it's not quite what you anticipated. You're like, oh, man, I was really hoping for a little bit more. Don't panic, especially with XLs. A lot of them, especially if they're older bloodlines, like if they're more Razor's Edge or more gaudy, old school Iron Cross. Those dogs take up until almost like 4 to 5 years before that final pop just completely blows them out of the water. So don't panic.
When it comes down to, like, when people ask me about how dogs mature, what I like to show people is Gambits, like Gambit as a pup versus Gambit as an adult. You wouldn't believe that Gambit was going to be what he turned out to be. Hold on, I gotta find the picture, because when I picked him up, he looked like a rat.
Oh no!
He looked like a little rat. I was like, what did I get myself into? And then I gotta find a picture. I gotta find a picture now. He looked like a little rat.
I finally got you. Like, I need you to find a picture because, like, now I'm dying to know. Like, when they say trust the blood, they mean that. Like,
Yes.
it's when I got Adonis, he didn't have seemingly a lot to him. He was very well muscled, very well structured. He just didn't have, you know, as much mass as, you know, some other XLs would have, but he also she exercised him before I got him, so you know that kind of keeps the weight up. Oh goodness, yeah, okay,
That's puppy Gambit. I'll go grab Gambit.
Oh damn, we're gonna get the. Okay, I'm here for it.
He lives in my brother's house.
It's really fascinating to me how much range of age can come into play there. I mean, that's a trip, man. You might have a dog at 20 months that's very little growth after that, and you may have one still popping at 4 years. It's pretty wild.
Yep.
Oh man, look at dude.
Oh my goodness. It's not even, don't you lie to me. That ain't the same dog. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
It's the same dog.
I know. Look at him. Oh, I love it. Oh, I just want to smooch the face. Look at that. Oh,
He's got
you know, it's wild. Like he just doesn't, like they just don't look. They're totally different dogs.
great.
You're right.
That's insane.
Great short muzzle.
Yeah. Wowza.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what a transformation. Dang, Transformation Tuesday.
Yes. Like, I think the one time I posted his Transformation Tuesday in the Louis V group, people, like, I legit had like 30, 40 people say that's not the same dog. That's not the same dog.
How old is he now?
He is 3.
3? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good age, like between 3 and 5. Like they have like a really, really manly pump.
Yeah, he's a couch potato now.
I know pressure's starting to get all this extra skin around his neck, and he's getting all this room and just started standing wider in the front. He's starting to change on me. He's right at about 20 months.
Oh yeah, it's about to go down.
It's about to go down.
It's about to go down for sure. Yeah, I think my XL Adonis, like I said, he remained pretty, no matter what I fed him. I tried everything, and he just stayed that lean, mean machine, you know.
Like a greyhound.
Not quite that bad, but it was one of those things where I was just like, oh my God, am I doing something wrong? I mean, weight vests, like everything. I was trying everything. And then finally, I want to say it was about 18, 19 months, and his chest dropped. And his head, like the muscle on the top of his head popped out. And then that's when he got the butt. He got his rear filled in. And I was like, oh goodness. Okay, there it is. And oh my God.
Those were the 2 pictures that I posted side by side.
I'd have asked 2, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'd have asked 2.
Yeah, it was like that post ended up getting like 600. It ended up with 663 likes and 30-something shares, and like 30-something people said in the comments saying it's not the same dog because. So when he was a puppy, he has a white mark on his forehead that was like then that his head hadn't developed yet, and he didn't get that shape.
Yeah.
Like the white mark was very obvious. But once he started maturing and his head started growing, he got some wrinkles. He got some wrinkles in his wedge between the eyebrow. People was like, "Yeah, where's the white mark on his head?" I legit took. I did a video.
Eyebrows.
I did a video. I pulled it back. I was like, "Here you go." They didn't reply to that comment.
I would have wagered to say they didn't. That is wild. I mean, it's not. Again, I mean, you gotta trust the blood sometimes, and it's like when people actually say that, you know, they mean it. That's some people, they try to say it's a catchphrase. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure every time that I had someone say it to me, they meant it.
My female she was so just skinny, man. Like I fed her from the time she was probably 6 or 7 months old. I fed her the same portion as Pressure, who's a year older than her,
Yeah.
and she's ate the same size meals as him for the last year, and it looks like she's not so lean that it looks like I'm starving her, but
Right.
she's as lean as she can be without being like ABPT lean.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't see her muscle fibers, but she is slender. And it was only now she's right at a year now, and she's coming up on her second heat, and her little cheeks went,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then her
Keeps
body's starting to
driving.
fill out.
Yeah.
Because she's a taller female, she shot up in height first, and once they stop growing
Do they go
in height,
swoosh?
yep, then they start filling out. But she's doing
Now,
that now.
now, one thing I can say, everybody can say trust the blood, but that phrase doesn't always apply
Sometimes
because there are some
you're
times
right.
where a dog just does not catch up to what you think it'll be,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's
and
happened.
that's the brutal truth.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yep. Yeah.
It is definitely
Absolutely.
true. I mean, I've lucked out with the times that someone has said, listen, and it's a lot of it is because I did my research,
Yep.
phenotype. Like I'm looking at the pedigree, and I'm like, okay, I do
Yep.
trust it. And with Adonis, that trust was tested for a split second there because, like I said, he's like your pup. He stayed pretty lean for a little longer than I was ready for. And then when he
Hmm.
popped, it's like, okay, all right, thank God. Then yeah, my faith is restored. But you're right. I mean, every once in a while, again, genetics are weird.
Yes.
Speaking of weird genetics, I'll give y'all a little late night gem. Y'all want a late night gem?
Oh God.
All right. So if you're pairing up dogs and you have a dog that has a recessive gene, right?
Mhm.
So if you're doing a homozygotic and heterozygotic pairs of genes, is where there'll be dominant or recessive, right?
Right.
So if they're homozygotic pairs, they'll be the same, and if they're heterozygotic pairs, they'll be different. Well, if you stack dogs on top of each other, when you breed a dog, if they both have the recessive gene on both sides, then that gene can become a dominant gene.
Oh.
And
No.
if it does, it's stronger than the regular dominant gene, a natural dominant gene. So if a dog has a dominant gene, if this dog has the recessive stacked up to make a dominant
It's gonna
gene, it
overpower
will trump the natural dominant gene and
it.
push through first.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's wicked. Okay,
Yeah.
well, again,
Yeah,
genetics are weird.
so that's why if you pair a male and a female up together and then something doesn't show, and then you pair her with another male, and now all of a sudden where did this come from? Well, the first breeding, the male didn't have the double recessive that she had, but the second one did.
Uh,
So
yeah,
when the
yeah.
second one did, it pushed that to a dominant place,
Yeah.
pushed it through.
Thing.
It's pretty neat, I thought.
Oh,
Yeah. Pretty neat stuff. That's where our fishing trip went this weekend.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I bet you that's something that you picked up while fishing for marlins.
Yeah, that was a little gem from the
Nice,
trip there. Yeah,
nice. Well done, well done.
yeah,
Well,
I thought it was pretty interesting.
we usually try to see if anybody because I know it's getting a little late for some people viewing from the East Coast. So sometimes I like to see if any of them have any kind of questions or anything like that real quick before they probably head to bed because it's about 10:46 over there now.
Yep.
I just like to remind. But just another thing that I kind of like to find out from everybody is so say that I'm brand new to the game. I've shown interest. I haven't got any dogs yet. I want to. what would be your advice for me?
Do I get to go first?
You, yes, absolutely. You're our guest. That's why I want to
Oh,
know. I
okay.
know what these two jokers would say.
Oh, okay. So you're wanting to get a dog. You're wanting to get into the community, but you haven't bought a dog yet.
Right.
I
What
see a
would be your
mosquito.
advice to me as a newcomer?
Um, Take your time, do your research. When you think you know what you want, take your time and look over it again and again before making that purchase because that is a big commitment. Not everybody that wants to dive into this has the money readily available. So you got to think of that as a long-term investment that may or may not work out. Um, do your research on the people that you will be buying from because at the end of the day, those people hopefully be in your corner and help you advance your career or your hobby, whatever you want, whatever you make of it. And they should be standing behind their product, which would be the dog that you buy from them. Take your time to understand the blood that you're wanting to get into. Make sure you know what direction you want to go, as whether it's stack dogs, show dogs, a
Right.
balance, classic, standard, pocket, whatever it may be. Make sure you take the time to understand everything about it before you do it, because a lot of us have made the mistake of not doing the research before we dove into it. So learn from the mistake we made and go from there.
I love it.
I had to put my phone down to try to.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, I'm sitting there
Very,
like,
very
hell
good
yeah,
answer. I
hell
could have
yeah,
done
the
it
whole
better
time.
myself.
Very well spoken.
For
Very
sure.
well
Oh,
said. Yep.
absolutely.
For
Very
anybody
well said.
asking, that's exactly what you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. No, that was, yeah, perfect. That was beautiful, man. I agree with everything, every aspect of that.
If you
All
can't
of it.
tell, I've been asked that a few times, and it's been from actual newcomers. So I mean, that's I
Nice.
give them the same information every time. Like I don't feel like I'm far enough in this game for you to trust everything I say, but I can give you that bit of information because I've learned from my
Yeah,
own mistakes.
I,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the truth
no, I
is
love
that's as
that.
simple as that answer gets. There is no
Yeah,
shorter version of that. That is the short version.
yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
And
Yeah, beautifully done.
one other thing is, even after all that research, still understand that everything in this is still going to be a gamble, whether it comes to breeding, getting a new pup, because there's no guarantee that that pup will grow exactly as those parents. Like it won't always grow to look exactly like those parents do. That breeding won't always take, but
Yeah,
don't lose your motivation just based off those things.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and keep it above the belt too, because just like you don't know, the people you got the dog from, they don't know.
Yeah,
Most definitely,
You know,
there's
because
no
there's that.
guarantee.
Yeah,
yeah,
that dog can change.
sure.
I've seen at least 50% of the time the third pick, fourth pick of the litter wind up being the best dog in the litter
Yep.
because you just can't. Some things you just can't tell. Sometimes you can, but a lot of times you can't.
Yeah, genetics are weird, man.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
And
For
don't
sure.
take the cheap route. Do not take the cheap route.
Yeah,
Hey, my partner got a dog for $1,000. Okay, go get your partner dog.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk in a year.
yeah. Now I've, I mean, I've been lucky to actually get like, I mean, the pricing is the way that it is because I was showing them. So
There you
like some breeders, like if they know the dog's going to a show home, sometimes they'll negotiate down a little
Yeah.
bit, but at the same time be willing to actually like honor that. Like don't just say, oh
See,
yeah,
but
totally
I
I'll
was
show
gonna
him if
say
you knock off $500. You're like, no,
that's a
be
I was gonna
willing to
say so
do it.
that's a completely different scenario
Mhm.
because you had that you already had that relationship established where somebody knew that you were going to
Correct.
be getting into
Yeah.
showing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Whereas a newcomer,
You gotta be willing to
they
spend that
don't
money.
they don't know you. Yeah, they don't know you
Yeah.
from Jack and Jill up the hill. So
Yeah.
there's not a great chance that you'll be getting that same deal that somebody else will get.
Correct. You've got to be willing
Absolutely.
to front the money for, you get what you pay for some in
Yep.
most cases when it comes to this. So you gotta, just
In
like you
most
said, do the
cases.
research, on both the dogs and the breeders,
Yep.
you know, go
Yep,
off
and
base, man.
Caleb and I have talked about this before. It's equally important. It's hard to believe that it's equally as important, but it's just as important. What the dog you get is the people you get it
Yep.
from.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, you think it'd be at least 60-40, but it really is 50-50, man.
Yep.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. You know, of course, what your dog is and isn't, of course, is a huge factor. But it's so important, you know, dealing with the right people, man, because there's a lot of people swinging below the belt for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen any. Have you guys seen any questions come through, guys? Since
Nah.
then?
Anybody watching, do y'all have any questions? If y'all got questions, now's y'all time to ask. There you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. That's
I
it.
love it.
I
Hey,
gave them the last warning. It was last call for alcohol, like 10 minutes ago. Like if they didn't tabbing out, guys.
yes.
No, I really appreciate you being willing to come on here and talk dogs with us. I really, really am just thrilled that you were willing to do a demonstration for us, you know, with the wicket and everything. Because again, like we can, you know, showing pictures and describing it, you know, and it is helpful, but sometimes just to put eyes on it,
Most
to
definitely,
watch it be
yeah.
done in real time is a
I'm
real treat.
honestly, I'm glad y'all asked to have me on, and I'm glad y'all asked me to do that
Yeah.
demonstration. I know it wasn't mandatory at all, and I do appreciate y'all asking me to do it because like I said, I love to show it.
And you're good at it. So that's, I
Yes.
mean, hey, man, it was, like I said, it was a real treat to be able to see that and to be able to, because I mean, while I've seen you do it in person and everything, sometimes, you know, just being able to, you know, reiterate it, it's important, and knowing that our viewers get to see it and they can
Yeah.
always reference it again.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
while we're
massive.
on the topic, anybody that does want to attempt to measure their own dog, please make sure you got somebody with you that can either stack the dog or do the measurement and follow the directions you give them for doing the measurement, or follow the directions you give them for doing the stacking. Because I have a lot of practice with Post Malone and with the wicket, so it's easy for me to do both at the same
It
time.
is not,
But most people will not have that same ease of use.
yeah.
I like the word ease of use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy.
That's
I
exactly.
as much as confident as I am with Adonis, I know that I would still prefer help.
Yeah, it takes practice. It definitely takes practice.
I'm sure. Absolutely. Hey, so I know that we have a show coming up. Daniel, shout out your show. What date it is? I know it's, we have it in Montgomery, but our friend Daniel has a from New Foundation Bully Camp. He has
Bully Wars
a
2.
show coming up. What is it?
Bully Wars 2,
Yeah, it's
November.
November. Just it like oh crud. I don't want to say it wrong, but Daniel's listening right now, so hopefully he'll shout out the exact weekend that is. Is it the 23rd? But either way, though, it's in Montgomery, Alabama. So I don't know how far that is for you, but
I can tell you in a second.
Yeah.
November 23rd.
yeah, November
November
23rd,
23rd,
Montgomery,
Montgomery,
Alabama. It's
Alabama.
the Garrett Coliseum. The Garrett Coliseum.
Montgomery, Alabama, 5 hours, 40 minutes.
Man,
Yee.
I seen my guy right there stack a dog for so long that, I mean, everybody's mouth's wide open. He walked away, left the dog in
He
the
left
ring,
her there, and she just stayed.
run
This,
off, was on the
yeah.
other side of the show talking shit and everything else, and the dog's still standing there
Oh,
stacking.
it's even better. People were trying to call her. They're like, "Oh, puppy, you know, come
Yeah,
here. It's
come here, come
okay." And
here.
she's like, No, I'm
Look,
fine. I'm chilling." He was
they
not
handed
gonna
out the
move.
ribbon, and she's still standing there.
Yeah,
So, like,
like so she like if you like, are you gonna get her? Because I'm starting to feel bad. He's like, "No, she cool."
like a statue, man.
So yeah, if you're able to make it to the Montgomery show, I think that could be a fun experience for sure. So again, November 23rd at the Garrett Coliseum in Montgomery. That's Bully Wars 2, November 23rd. So, anyways, thank you again immensely.
Pleasure to
I
meet you,
really
young
thoroughly
man.
enjoyed having you here.
Nice to meet you too.
Really.
I appreciate y'all for having me on.
Yep, I
Yes.
enjoyed it.
Man,
Definitely
thank you.
looking
Josh
forward to seeing
Stanley,
you at
now
the
you
next show.
come on. Go to sleep, Josh. Go to sleep, Josh.
I know. Heck, man. For real? Go to bed, man.
Yeah,
Watch it
but
later.
QK,
Watch it
man.
later. We'll
Hey,
put it on the
nothing but
YouTube.
love,
We'll put it
man.
on the YouTube too.
Hey, likewise,
Yes.
bro.
Keep doing
Appreciate
All right.
y'all.
Thank you,
Glad to
guys.
hear, man.
It's a great
All
night.
right.
All right.
Hey, y'all have a good one.
All right, y'all
You
take care.
too.